Mulberry Street, quiet eddy in the backwaters of a big city's turbulence. Older residents, retired or ready to retire. And something sets most of them apart. They're thrifty, they're solvent. Ira Madden owns this house free and clear. Ira's a bus driver. He and his wife Fern worked hard all their lives, saved their money, paid their bills, even helped their sons through school as much as they could. They have always believed in living their lives productively.
It won't start right. Lousy charcoal.
The children will be here soon, Ira.
No, don't worry. Larry and Edith, they're always late. Don and Jean, what with the kids and that old jalopy.
Look, Grandpa's starting a fire. Can we help, Grandpa?
No car trouble today. Hello, darling. How are you?
We made it.
Hello, dear.
That's the eldest son, Don. His wife, Jean. Their children.
Hi, Dad.
Don went to the university to study engineering. Surprised everybody by switching to agriculture. He met his wife at a campus church retreat. Eventually, Jean went to work to help Don finish school, realize his goal, farming. It hasn't been easy.
Jean, I told you not to bring anything.
Oh, you're guinea pigs for my canning.
Oh, not many people do this anymore.
I'd like to. Besides, it saves money.
A cake, too. Oh, Jean, now why don't you sit down and take a rest?
Don needs it more than I do.
Hey, when do we eat?
It's Uncle Larry. And Aunt Edith.
Larry is Ira's younger son, graduate engineer, ambitious, capable, just beginning his career in electronics. Edith is a secretary in an advertising agency. They have no children.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hello, Mother. Hi, Jeannie. How are you?
Three families, each tied closely together by kinship and marriage. Yet each is different. And the thing that accounts for the biggest difference among these three families is the attitude each has toward money.
I'd love to take her on a shopping spree some weekend.
That's a very tempting offer, Edith.
Lila, let's sit down over here.
Okay.
How lucky you and Larry are, Edith. No money problems. No dollar stretching. Kids always needing something. Wanting something. Everything they see on TV. And it's not fair to say no all the time. Maybe we should have waited.
When do we eat, Mom?
Pretty soon. You and Kenny go in and wash up.
Come on, Kenny.
I hope ours will be a girl. I suppose I should be happy, but I just don't want to be tied down. I know one thing. I won't go around wearing a $5 house dress. Maybe it's not true. I'll know Monday. I'm glad I haven't told Larry yet.
They call it contract feeding, Larry. I collect so much per head for feeding, finishing the stock for market.
All this while you're working every day in that machine shop?
Well, this is something that lets me work in town.
That's the kind of thing that ages you fast.
Well, a man's got to be happy doing what he's doing, Dad.
Right. And I wouldn't change places with you for $1 million. So why do I envy you? Because you know what you want. And why. Nice wife. Kids I'd give my eye teeth for. What is it? I'm doing what I like too. Good money, good future, pretty wife. Expensive taste, true, both of us, but, well, appearances. Still a lot of unnecessary things. That boat, used it 3 times last summer. All those bills. Where does all the money go? Last time that question came up, we didn't speak for 2 days. Trouble is, it'll come up again.
You've been putting in some pretty long hours yourself, haven't you, Larry?
Oh, I don't mind it, Dad. I guess my work is my life, in a way.
I guess I can't ask for much more in life than to see my sons happy and successful.
Successful? That's debatable. I'm in hock up to my ears. You're the success, Dad. You and Mother. You've made good use of everything God gave you. You've led such responsible lives. Thanks for starting Larry and me off on the right track.
Are those ribs almost done, Ira? Everybody's hungry.
Coming right up.
Another tie that holds these families together is their Christian faith. All are church members, some more involved than others.
Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest, and let these gifts to us be blessed. Amen. Now, let's dig into these spare ribs. That's a mad special. Here we go.
But money problems have a way of intruding, even on a pleasant Saturday afternoon.
Oh, Edith, if you want to see your folks this afternoon, you and Larry better start.
Oh, I hate to just eat and run, Mother. But Dad sounded so strange when he called this morning.
Oh, nobody's sick, I hope.
I don't know. We haven't seen them for ages.
Well, I thought you saw them at least once a week in church.
Well, Larry's been playing golf lately on Sunday mornings.
Oh.
And I don't like to go alone.
Edith's parents, Frank and Grace Gregory, live in fashionable Glenview. For years, Frank has been self-employed, a successful commercial artist. The Gregorys have always lived well, and before Edith, their only child, married, she had everything she ever wanted. Nobody wants my style anymore. I've had very little work for some time now. I haven't wanted to drag you kids into it, but, well, I'm concerned.
Haven't you put anything away?
All we have is the house. I just never thought the well would run dry.
Trouble is, we're kind of in over our heads, too. But don't worry, we'll help. With Edith and me both working, we should be able to do something. Come on, cheer up. We're going outside.
Larry, I haven't been able to tell Grace. I'd appreciate it if...
Oh, sure, Dad. I'm gonna have to tell Edith, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell her tonight. Come on.
Look, Larry, they're my responsibility,
That's not the point, honey.
What is the point?
This should be a lesson to us.
Oh, I suppose it's all my fault.
We should have something more than a lot of debts.
Everyone has them.
Honey, just look at what my brother's doing.
Oh, I suppose you want to move to a farm, too. I think it's all so stupid.
I can envy some of the men at my office for the same reason I envy Don.
I didn't realize you were so unhappy.
Why can't we ever discuss this without quarreling?
Well, maybe you married the wrong woman.
Well, maybe I did.
Oh, I can't have that baby now. Not now. Not now.
For the first time since his marriage, Larry is determined to do something. When he finishes,
Well, your mother and I had our money problems, too.
I think all young folks kind of rebel at the discipline it takes.
But once you see how important it is to be working towards something.
Toward what, Dad? Toward what?
Well, a purpose, a Christian home, your children, if you have any, of course. Something for your old age.
Dad, I know all those things.
Well, it's a good Christian way to live, Larry.
But I know, Mom. I know.
Larry, why don't you and Edith spend the weekend with Don and Jean? I think Don can tell you what your mother and I are trying to say. He always seems to be able to say it better than we can.
I wonder if I can get Edith to go.
Honey, I'm sorry. Oh, baby.
Where were you? I was so worried.
I went to see Mother and Dad, and I got an awful lot to tell you. Now, come on. You sit right down there and listen. Dad felt that, well, maybe going out to the farm and talking it over with Don and Jean might help.
Well, it's worth a try. We've got to do something.
the following weekend, Larry and Edith were a welcome sight.
Hey, honey, look who's here.
Edith!
How are you, son? Hey, am I glad to see you. Here.
Don had a fence to
Come on, I'll
mend,
show you how to
could use an extra hand. Jean, preparing vegetables for canning and freezing, could also use some help.
Take it easy on her, Jean. She hasn't been feeling well all week. We almost changed our minds about coming.
There we are.
It's just so easy to let things ride. Until something like my father-in-law's problem explodes in our faces.
Well, it was the same with us in a way, Larry.
Oh, come on now.
Sure. This farming kick. You know, it's pretty tough to go into farming today. A lot of people are getting out of it. But this is what I wanted. And I went over my head in debt.
You?
Yep. Well, I thought I saw a way out. Jim Wilson down at the bank is a member of our church. Good connection, I figured. And frankly, I was going to take advantage of it. Well, he wanted to see my books. Books. I was doing my bookkeeping on the backs of old envelopes. Well, anyway, I showed him what I could. And here's the joker. Now, this guy is the chairman of our church's stewardship committee. So he says, well, I have a good idea of the income. I can see what you're spending. But you haven't shown me any record of what you're giving. Giving? I almost laughed in his face. But what he had to say made me examine my whole attitude toward why I was doing what I was doing. You see, it was important to me to own land, to touch it, feel it belonged to me and no one else. But Jim set me straight. Everything is really God's, Larry. And since that's the way it is, we ought to be pretty careful about how we handle what we have. It's up to us to make the most of what he gives us. Everything. Time, ability, land, money. No matter what our line of work. And now, my land, my life, it all has a new meaning. When Jim helped me see that I really belonged to Christ, I realized that my life had to have a purpose beyond the boundaries of this little farm.
What is that purpose, Don?
To spend it for God, on other people. Come on, let's get back to the house.
Jean, Larry and I are in trouble. We're in debt way over our heads.
Oh, but Edith, I thought... Welcome to the club.
Oh, I know we should be more careful and keep track of everything, but budgeting is such a nuisance.
Not when you look at it as something more than an exercise in financial housekeeping.
What do you mean?
Well, Don and I feel that what we do with our money reflects what we believe. A lot of our expenses didn't have much meaning when we took that attitude. It made it easier to do without some of the things we're being pressured to buy.
But just where do you begin?
Oh, there's no mystery about it. I'll show you how Don and I started.
What's up?
Jean is going to give me a lesson in family budgeting.
Ooh, mind if I listen?
Absolutely not.
Budgeting sessions have to include all members of the family.
That's right. Kids, too.
They're just a few basic steps, really. First, figure your total annual income. Say it's $6,000. Then we begin with what we give every week to the church and add to this our fixed expenses.
Fixed expenses?
Yeah, things like insurance, mortgage, loan payments, taxes.
Say these come to $2,400. Subtract from your income and divide by 12, leaving $300 a month for variable expenses.
Variable?
Well, such as food, clothing, entertainment, transportation, education for the kids.
And this is where you have to decide what your goals are, what comes first, and what can be given up.
What you're working for and whom you're working for.
Our plan breaks all our expenses down on a monthly basis.
Yeah, and our allowances, too. Say, Dad, don't you think it's about time for another raise?
We'll talk about that the next time we sit down and revise our plan, huh?
Well, this plan you've been talking about, is this the actual budget breakdown?
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
You children go wash up.
We're always washing.
And you too, young lady.
Okay.
Don and Jean keep monthly spending records to compare against their planned expenses. These are vital to successful money management. They help plug leaks, make additional money available for important goals. One of Don's first goals was debt repayment. He found those finance charges were a big leak in his spending plan. Another goal was an emergency fund for unexpected expenses.
Making our plan work means careful shopping. We shop for everything, even interest rates. But you'd be amazed how it all adds up. Oh, yes, and as you know, we're do-it-yourselfers.
It's all part of what we were talking about in the field, Larry. How well we manage what God has given us.
How did you ever get started with your plant?
You remember Jim Wilson at the bank?
Huh?
Well, he was very helpful.
But there are other places to get help, too.
Oh, sure. You've got your credit unions, bank, saving association, life insurance companies.
Oh, haven't you seen the new money management material our church just put out?
No, we haven't.
I'll get them.
Now, you'll also find that you always have to keep your budget up to date. Conditions change from month to month.
Here you are. This gives you the reasons why, and this tells you how. That handbook also contains your record forms.
Looks complicated to me.
Oh, not really. And besides, our church has special meetings to explain and discuss these materials.
Never thought the church was interested in things like this.
Yeah, well, speaking of church, Sunday mornings come early around here. Now, you look those over, and we'll talk about them some more tomorrow, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to go out and check the stock.
Okay, Doc.
I'll be back as soon as I look in on the children.
Glad we came?
I guess so.
What's the matter, honey?
Oh, I just feel that we've been wasting so much and missing so much.
The following morning, out of their dedication to Christ, Don and his family give freely and generously.
All of a sudden, I want that baby very much.
Here you are, honey. This enough?
Oh, that'll be fine.
Honey, we'll sit down with your folks and try to show them how we'll get ourselves out of this mess. They'll have to try the same thing. Anyway, with the both of us working, we should
Larry.
be able to...
We can't count on my working very long. I went to the doctor this week, and he said
Hey, I'm gonna be a father!
Edith and Larry are starting out on a new adventure in Christian family living. They are beginning to recognize the need to earn, spend, save, give as Christian stewards.